Ready?
I think we're recording.
No.
Okay, well, wait for me, Mom. Don't get ahead of us.
Okay.
Okay? So you're gonna tell us on how to do your pie crust.
Okay. You
4 cups of flour.
pour 4 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of salt. Whisk it together so that it is all combined, nice and even.
You were born for this.
And then I'm going to put the Crisco in.
And how much Crisco?
Oops. 2/3 and 2/3. And you use your fingers.
Always your hand.
Always your hands.
And ice cold water on the ready.
Always ice cold water on the ready. And it needs to form like a little pea as you mix it together. And if you find that you have more flour and not enough Crisco, you should always add a little bit.
This is the technique I just never got mastered. Brad did all the baking.
Yeah. And it just takes a little patience here because you have to work it in. This Crisco is at just the right temperature, so it's good.
It's a little cooler than room temperature.
Yeah, it's probably a little cooler than room temperature. If it's too warm, it kind of mushes up a little bit. So.
Now, how many 8-inch pie crusts, top and bottoms, will we get for a full pie?
We'll probably get 4, maybe 5, because they're 8-inch pie crusts. So
So we'll do a couple batches.
yeah, oh yeah, we'll have to do more than one batch to handle the meat. Okay.
If you get tired, I can do that too.
Okay, I'm fine. I'm fine. We're almost ready to put the ice water. Start with the ice water. See how that just makes a nice...
Mm-hmm.
Should make sure there's not too many clumps. Okay, let's do a 1/4 cup of ice water. It's about right in the middle. And another half. Let's see how this goes. Then we're going to take this and we're going to section them out, wrap them in saran wrap, and put it into the refrigerator for about 30 minutes before we roll it out.
Okay. Can we grab some saran wrap?
Give me another 1/4 cup.
Slow or all at once?
All at once. I can take it with this.
You can take it.
Yeah, this much flour. You do this until it feels right. And it's not always the same.
What causes the difference?
Temperature.
Humidity, I imagine, would
Yeah,
also.
all right. Need more.
Sorry.
Falling down
Wasn't
on the
being
job.
a good sous chef.
Falling down on the job, that's good. See, some of it is coming together. More.
Well, just using a little water at a time makes it a lot more even, it looks like.
Yeah. That's because if I do it any other way, I can end up with too much, and that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
A little more, though. About a half, yeah. Just to bring it together. There. I think that's going to do it. So if we get everything in here.
Now, all the aunts made their pretty the same dough, isn't it, for the most part?
Probably.
So you
I
heard
mean,
from
I was taught by Meme. I don't know who taught the others.
Meme Soutiere?
Yeah. She spent a lot of time teaching me how to do this. And I didn't always do it good.
Cooking's not been foreign, I don't think, to anybody in the family at some point in time.
Okay. You don't want to overmix it if you can help it, because that makes the pie crust tough.
Okay. Want your hands to take a break, or you got?
No, I'm fine.
You got saran wrap ready?
So we're gonna just section it out, roll it up so it's ready to roll out. This is about a crust, I would say.
Okay. So are you just going to bake it into disc, or you want the roller?
No, no roller yet.
Okay.
We're gonna wrap it in saran wrap. No water there though, be careful.
No water.
And kind of, when you bring the saran wrap, kind of smooth it out.
Gotcha. Keep the moisture in and re-get the
Yeah, let it
the
cool.
coldness
Let
back
it cool
in.
down,
Okay.
and it'll roll out a lot better. Coming up with the next
Does
one.
that meet the mom approval?
That's
or-
good.
Okay.
And if it doesn't all fit, we're going to be making another batch, so it'll be just fine.
Okay.
So we're going to end up with only two pies, it looks like.
Okay.
Now, I mean, we can always, if there's crust left over, you just reform it, use it again.
Well, we weren't the pickiest on measurements.
Right,
so we
that's right. It's kind of the way you make it, the old-fashioned way. Okay, those go in the refrigerator. This we'll just add for the next batch.
Okay. You want to keep it in the same bowl, or?
Oh, sure, just leave it right there.
All right. So we'll get these in the fridge for half an hour,
Yeah, but just about 30 minutes, give or
And-
take.
and we'll be back when we're ready to roll it after it's all cold.
Right.
Okay.
All right, we're filming.
So we're making meat pies, which is our family tradition for Thanksgiving, Christmas, the whole holiday season for the most part. And I think we have 5 pies we're shooting for, Mom, today.
It looks like about 5.
So we did 4 pounds of ground beef that we had broken up and
No, ground pork.
I'm sorry, ground pork
No.
onto the skillet and getting that started. What did we do? 2, 3 onions, good white onions.
Yeah, good white onions.
And
Big
the-
ones. They're large onions.
I did a small chop on them. Now this meal is very much a touch, feel, and taste meal.
It is.
So we have ready on the ready is salt and pepper.
It's important to start salting the pork because, as you know, pork is very bland. So, and then we pour in enough water to cover the meat.
Okay. A little more.
A little
Okay.
more. We're going to need more. And I think I'm going to put a little more onion in. The onion really flavors the pork. So,
This is a
take-
meal that you either really love or
Or
you really don't.
go. And I I'm of the opinion that you can never have too much onion, because it adds flavor, so.
Okay, so we're gonna cook this all the way till the pork's done, correct? And then
Yeah,
we're gonna have
the
saltines.
pork should separate and act like, it looks like little peas. And the onions become translucent. A little more water, please.
One more.
You see how it begins to separate fairly quickly. And make sure there's no lumps, and then a little more. I think we need a little more water.
We got it.
Yeah. Okay, let's settle with that for now.
Covered or uncovered?
Uncovered. No cover necessary.
All right, so let's grind up some saltine crackers, and then we'll meet back and do the final mix and final taste seasoning.
Yeah, we're going to start to roll out the crusts and get them in the oven for about 5 minutes.
All right.
A little more.
A little more.
Mm-hmm.
I don't argue.
Why you dare? Okay, we'll try it.
Good.
Coming.
Okay, so we're here going to be filling our pies. We have our 4 pounds of once ground pork and about what, 2 cups onions probably.
Yes.
That we filled up with water. We simmered it. The pork's now all cooked off. We have about 2.5 sleeves of crushed saltines. Everything's hot and it's under seasoned right now.
Right.
So
However, we did have a little seasoning to start with, a little salt and pepper. And as this is cooking, make sure you stir it every once in a while to keep it from sticking to the bottom and no lumps. Okay.
Okay. Want it all in one shot?
No.
Then take some.
Okay. This is key because the crackers have to have time to absorb the moisture. And sometimes it happens very quickly, and sometimes it takes time. Well, okay. We may need more saltines. We'll see.
I'm banking together.
Yeah.
Now I do know you don't want to do more than saltines that you can handle.
That's right.
It turns into ugliness.
It does. This is probably the most sensitive part, except for the seasoning, of course, to make sure you don't rush into the saying you've got enough crackers. See, it's okay.
That'll do
Yeah. And you only season after your crackers are in the mix.
A lot of salt.
It's important that when you buy your saltine crackers, they are not the salt-free ones. Make sure they are the ones with salt. I like this pan.
Isn't that good?
Yeah, it works
I
great.
always like this stuff.
Yeah. Perfect for this amount of pork.
I was ready for you.
Yeah, I'll say. And I'm going to take the rest of the saltines, but wait just a minute.
Okay. This is so good.
In the corner. That's it. That's it. I can manage. I think it's going to be just about right.
Okay, and the pie dough we made earlier, and we let it rest in the fridge for a half an hour. And now, just to help seal the meat, or seal the dough, we put it in the oven, just the bottoms at 400 for about 5 minutes. To help, this is going to be a lot of wetness and a lot of moisture that can seep into the dough. So we kind of sealed it off with a quick 5-minute cook. It's looking good.
What are you doing here?
You ready for some seasoning?
You know, Randy, I'm gonna need a little more crackers.
A little more crackers?
I really am. It is just too wet.
We'll hook you up. Let me know if you're rolling.
All right, we're filling.
All right, so I think we got just the right consistency. Kind of like a good oatmeal, probably, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we're ready to season.
Okay.
Where do you want to start? Here's some salt and pepper.
Let's do a little salt and a little pepper.
About a teaspoon of
You
cinnamon
can,
to try.
you can go 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. We've got a lot of pork there. And let's start with only a half a teaspoon of clove. Have to be very, very careful with the clove seasoning because it's very strong.
Ooh, smell those cloves.
Yeah. Oh, it smells wonderful. Yeah, it smells wonderful. And it changes color, obviously, because of the cinnamon and clove.
Looks just the right consistency.
I think we got it. You can see how important it is that you do all of this by intuition, if you will, because it depends on the consistency of the pork that you start with. Let's see, is it all kind of stirred in there? I think I'll take a look at that. And then you can taste it.
I don't think I ever remade this on a stovetop. I always used the electric skillet.
I've used
Always.
both. That's a beautiful skill. It's the right size for anybody that's using 4 pounds. It's just perfect.
All right, I think we're ready for a taste. Here's a spoon. You start and I'll take over a little bit.
Not there.
Salt.
A little bit of everything.
This is interesting. I want to see the mettle of these New York Giants to see how they respond. Well, Giants have won a quarter while they're doing something this year that they haven't.
And it may take a while to season it.
Yeah, sometimes it's good to step away.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always easier to add a little more later than it is to take some out.
Take it
There.
out.
Let's try it. I think that's not pepper. Sneezing like crazy.
We saw a little bit of inspiration from the Giants' defense at the end of the half,
Oh, it's starting to smell right.
and now their special teams gives them a little juice.
Starting to smell right.
To start this second half, Dwayne Harris breaking tackles, getting out to around the 45-yard line.
And you know any of the history behind it other than it was memes or? I know it's a very French-Canadian thing.
It's a French-Canadian thing, and in the family years ago, you went to midnight mass, went to the grandparents for the blessing, and you came back home, and you had a huge buffet of which meat pies was always the star of the show.
And each one of you autographed your own pies with your own
Yes,
slots, right?
yes, we did.
Just not keeping those drives alive. As for Chicago, John Fox is thrilled about the way the team has come out. He likes the way they're fighting, especially after that terrible game last week. He said they worked hard in
Still
practice.
isn't there, right? It's going to take a while, I can tell.
It's another 30 minutes of strong football.
See if they can get it, man. That's high.
Coming though.
I'm gonna do half teaspoons here.
And
Thank you.
no more salt.
Yeah, I think we got salt.
I think the salt's good. Hi Daisy. Do you know we're making Soutiere?
Soutiere. Soutiere or Toutiere?
Soutiere. Well, yeah, I've always said it anyway.
We're Canadian, we can say anything.
Yeah.
This is getting close.
I think we're going to need more clove, but I don't know.
Yeah,
So I'm
and then-
afraid
Well, like I
Be
said,
careful.
we can step away for 10 minutes, eat some lunch, and come back maybe, or
First half, we saw it with the kick return. Now we're seeing it offensively.
saving room for some of this.
From these New York Giants.
you're gonna have some. Pie crust look pretty good.
Okay, we're gonna try it.
A little more clove. And some more cinnamon for me. What do you think?
You're right with the salt.
Yeah, plenty of salt in there. So salt and pepper's good. We can say that's it for them. But
That's just a completely second down cut.
we kind of all like lots of seasonings. If anybody else is making it and they wanted to adjust those seasonings downward, they could certainly do it.
And that was quite an awakening for when Gina and I first started dating. She cooked very well, and she was not as used to the spices as we are. And so that's been an adjustment.
Actually, Ron is the same way. He's not quite as heavy, and though he's come a long way. He likes it a lot better now.
So, a couple of injury news. We're up to Kurt Hansel
But especially this one just needs
He's been ruled out with
a lot of seasoning.
But boy, if you go too far with it, you're done.
Yeah. I think that's probably gonna do it.
All right, let's try
Yeah,
it.
let's try it.
Giants at the 33. Pressure up the middle. Man on low.
I'd say a little more quick.
A little more close.
Shepard, the rookie out of Oklahoma. And it's good for 12 yards.
Well, I thought I had a straight count.
Odell Beckham Jr. and being quiet. But look at, they're dedicating two to Odell Beckham Jr. What that does
Tastes pretty good, even if I do say so.
for everyone else. Sterling Shepard this time. So Odell Beckham.
Yeah, the clove is very much a personal thing.
Yes.
For who you're cooking for. If it's for you and me, well, it's a lot of clove. And if it's for Gina,
No clove. And Ron, no clove. Eat
I
it.
think she likes these better in the freezer. Like I said, you either really love them or you really hate them.
Well, because you're brought up with them. Like everything else. Okay, let's try that.
I think it's there. Maybe a little more?
I put a touch more cinnamon and touch more.
Okay.
Not a lot.
You've had more practice at these than I have.
Just a touch.
CJ Wilson. Loop over here.
Very light.
Feet comes inside.
Let it go.
Ready. ET. The end comes down. Tackle.
Woo!
Man, he throws it away.
Ready?
That's, I'm sure, gonna be the last ad.
I think we got more than 4 pies.
That's what I said. More than 4 pies.
All right, so once we fill these pies, we're gonna cap them with the cover over the. That's right. So why don't we? I think we got this.
Yeah.
Let's come on back again once we get the pies covered with the dough and stick them in the oven. What would you say? 20 minutes for the half bake, and then just
It may take longer than that because you cook them about 350, and you want your crust to begin to brown off a little bit.
Yeah.
Because when you put them back in the oven, you're just heating them through.
and
So.
that way we can freeze them, make them ahead of time, freeze them, and then warm them up at 350 for
About
40
an hour.
about an hour. Yeah.
Actually, if you're going to, one good way to warm them up is to put your oven on about 275 and leave them in there for an hour and a half, and then they will dry out.
Like that. Got it.
That's that.
All right.
Filming.
So we just finished all the pie covering. This is the last pie cover to go on. And we've just dampened the dough a little bit. That one's full. You better not roll flat. There you go.
It's gonna be okay.
All right.
There. And don't worry if your crust needs a little patching. That's because it's homemade and it's all okay.
Can't wait to make cinnamon rolls.
Okay, I think we got it.
Now, do you remember everybody's signature on their pie?
No. My goodness. It's 100 years ago.
Well, I'm not that old.
It's a long time. I wish I did, but I don't. Okay. There you go. You
Yeah.
can mark your last pie.
Well, I get to mark this one.
You get to mark your own pie.
What do I want to do?
You gotta flip, you gotta do these.
Oh, yeah.
Indentured.
That's right. So this is a
Any
2 in
way-
1, right?
Yeah, any way you wanna do it.
You left me a little skinny. Always stuck at this. That's better. Like you said, you got to make them to keep in practice, right?
You gotta practice pie making this. You're doing good. That's good. Now do your mark.
Do the small square.
Mine are pretty thin.
They are, as they should be. Okay, so we're gonna stick these in the oven for 350. We're just gonna stick them in the freezer, right?
That's
Eventually.
all. We got three, put them in until they're fairly brown.
So
Because,
about 40 minutes? 30?
yeah, check them after 30 because it depends on the oven and you don't want to mess them up. So just check them after 30.
We will check them in 30.